Hey everybody, this is Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what you need to consider. What do you have to think about when getting 3PL? Are all 3PLs created equal? What does it take for a 3PL to be Afolabi approved? What red flags should you stay away from? So, welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
All right. So, like I said, today we're going to be talking about what you need to think about when considering a 3PL. Our guest is co-founder, my partner on HONU Worldwide. You can find him on Facebook with his bi-weekly HONU Live, giving free advice to sellers about sourcing, suppliers, and 3PLs. And for over 20 years, he's been learning and developing the best logical strategies, relationships, and tactics to streamline and improve profitability for his clients. Our guest, my buddy, my partner, returning guest, Afolabi Oyerokun. But before we get to Afolabi, let's go to a word from our sponsor. A big thank you to our sponsor, Post Purchase Pro, the only complete A to Z done-for-you real email and text marketing service built specifically for Amazon sellers. My friends Sean Hart and Seth Stevens co-founded Post Purchase Pro after launching over 1,000 successful private labeled products, growing 53 brands, and get this, exiting 17 businesses. Post Purchase Pro creates all of your digital assets 100% for you, from marketing inserts, complete sales funnels, email follow-up sequences, and weekly email promotions. They manage and optimize everything for you to drive more sales, get higher ranking, and receive more reviews on Amazon. So check out Post Purchase Pro now to see if you too will see enormous growth like their nearly 500 clients worldwide. That's Post Purchase Pro at postpurchasepro.com/lunch. Where is the boy wonder?
Hello, I'm here.
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm feeling better. A couple more days back from the vacation. So getting back into business mode.
Okay,
Fun.
awesome to hear. And then you're off again all the way to Australia. So that's probably where you are now if you're watching this at home, Beard Nation. This is obviously a pre-recorded episode, if you can see in the top corner up there. So this isn't our usual live episodes, although it's streaming live. So please feel free to put your comments, your questions over in the comment sections. We're going to post them in the Facebook group, get either Afolabi to answer them or people from the group to get their opinions on it. So please feel free, post away in the comment sections. I'm still here behind the scenes live while this is playing. So why don't we start off by smashing those like buttons, giving us a thumbs up. YouTubers, please subscribe to the YouTube channel below, hit that big thumbs up and ring that bell. We'd really appreciate it. Also, if you want to do something extra special for the Beard Nation, if you can give us a review and rate us on Apple Podcasts, that would be fantastic. Since we are a podcast, we're always trying to rank up on there too. So don't forget to join the Lunch with Norm Amazon FBA and e-commerce collective Facebook group. We've got giveaways, goodies, all happening in there, and that's where you can get all the announcements when things go live, when there's new and exciting things happening. It all gets posted there first, and you get to hang out with a good bearded group of entrepreneurs as well. But I think that's about it.
You know, Kels, I just thought of
Yes.
something. I responded to one of the posts in our group the other day after I kicked somebody out. So like in our group, we want it real and we want people engaging, but we want beardos, not weirdos. And so, anyways, there was a guy that kept posting, and you got to apologize when this happens, but he just kept posting and kept posting this. All he was trying to do was solicit business. And once again, we're not there to solicit business. We're not there, for other people to solicit business. If you can help out, that's a whole different ballgame. If somebody's asking specifically, but we're not, every comment that you make is not about a specific, hey, I have VA services, hit me up here, on every comment. So I just want to let everybody know, beardos, not weirdos. And,
that's a great t-shirt.
There we go. Hashtag beardos, not weirdos. But anyways, happens very seldomly, but we get on it. And also what's really cool about this is that there's other people in other groups that if they're having like somebody do that to their group as well, they'll post, like they'll send me a private message saying, hey, do you have this guy in your group? Get rid of him. And, this is the type of community that we have. So if people are looking to help themselves, we help them. We share to give, or, give to share, or whatever it is, whatever that comment that is. But anyways, we want to help people. We're not, people that are in there under false pretenses is a whole different story. So that's all I have to say. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you, everybody. Just joking. All right. So comments over in the comments section. If you have comments or questions, I think it's time that Kelsey, you get out of here and sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the show. Welcome, sir.
Hey, how are you, sir?
You're in a whole different room than what we were just talking.
Yeah, I'd like to switch things around, move my monitor, move the camera, I get bored easily.
I thought you were going to say move your money.
Oh, I get bored easily. Just move my computer and stuff. You're always thinking about money, Mr. Beard Guy.
Well, how are you, sir?
Very good. See, I have like a kind of short this time because it's hot, it's summer, so I keep it a little short. I don't know how you cope with yours, but
I cut it. Yeah, I trimmed it because it was hot. No,
okay.
We got a lot to talk about, and I think this is going to be a really great subject. So this isn't anything that's just for Amazon, but if you're dealing, let's say you have a 3PL for Walmart or any other platform, we could also use this, but we're going to try to target more about the Amazon seller using 3PLs today. And I think this is something that we don't spend enough attention on. A lot of people waste a lot of money just shipping everything to Amazon and causing some problems. So why don't we start there? First of all, let's start talking about 3PLs. Are all 3PLs, and if you don't know what I mean by a 3PL, it's a logistics or a fulfillment center. It's not just somewhere where you store or anything. This is something where you get the pick, pack, ship service like you would over in Amazon. Is there a better way to describe it, Afolabi?
Well, it just stands for third-party logistics center. And to answer your questions, not all 3PLs are built the same. They're not alike. So I'm going to touch on the three major types that I've come across, so that an Amazon seller will be informed and know exactly what question to ask or what to look for. The first one is just the storage warehouse. Some people say, oh, do you guys do warehousing? I'm like, yes, but warehouse is just a tiny part of a 3PL. It's not just all about warehouse and storage. So that's the first one, the storage warehouse, whereby they just receive your good and they just store it for you. Most of these warehouses may not have a loading dock, which is a big minus, because when you're shipping your goods to them, it's going to take them forever to be able to unload your goods. So watch out for that. Ask them if they have a loading dock. The second one is an order fulfillment warehouse. All they do is they want to receive your goods. They'll put it into little bins, and then they would fulfill your orders like FBM orders or Shopify orders or Walmart orders, whatever order you like to fulfill. It might be Kickstarter orders as well. An order fulfillment warehouse, that's what their niche is. They just want to pick and pack and fulfill orders. And the third one is the hybrid. That means they can do warehousing and they can do order fulfillment. So if your game plan is to be able to have that flexibility, to be able to do, to have storage, kitting, bundling, and also do order fulfillment, you might want to look into a hybrid 3PL.
Okay. All right. So there's three types. Let's go through it again. Bullet point. First one, warehousing. Second
Storage
one,
warehousing.
Okay. Storage
Order
warehousing.
fulfillment.
Second one, order fulfillment. Third one.
Mhm.
Let's do this
Hybrid.
again. You start and I'll keep my mouth shut.
Let's test and see if you remember it. Number one. What's
Storage
number
and
one?
warehouse.
Good. Number two.
Order and fulfillment.
Oh, wow. Number three.
I wasn't listening.
I know you know it.
I don't. I wasn't listening.
The third one is hybrid 3PL, which is they can do both the storage and they can do order fulfillment.
Very good. Now I'm listening. Hybrid, number three.
like a hybrid car, like a Prius, like Toyota Prius or something.
It's funny, but most people don't know this, but this is how we are all the time. So like when you're running your operation, it is different because everybody, and what would you think would be the most, would it be the hybrid model? Most people want something done a little bit differently.
Yes, for Amazon sellers, especially if you're smaller or you're just growing, I would say you'd stick to the hybrid version, because a storage warehouse may be a distribution center and they only deal with large clients. And the order fulfillment warehouse, they only want large order fulfillment. They want you to be doing 300 to 5,000 orders a day. So they're not really perfect for you. They do not like sending stuff to Amazon. They don't like receiving pallets. They don't like receiving containers. They just want you to send stuff to them in boxes, because that's their niche. They don't want to mess with any equipment, loading stuff. They don't like to do forklifting. They don't like nothing. So, but hybrid is better for Amazon sellers, because tomorrow you might want to do Walmart. You might want to do your FBM orders, and you might want to start small. So that's the part that would make hybrid be more compatible for you as an Amazon seller.
And one of the things that we talk about, and we talked about it like regularly, about people who maybe did not forecast properly. We talked about it on the last podcast that I had just last week, or on Monday, about planning your inventory strategy and forecasting. And sometimes you got to fly things in. Sometimes you got to flip from FBA to FBM. There's lots of reasons why you need to, have a good, high quality 3PL. Now, we talked about this just briefly when I made the introduction, but the Afolabi test, the Afolabi approval test, what do you need to get your mark of approval on a 3PL?
Oh, a lot. I have almost a 20-point list that you should watch out for. If you're an Amazon seller, these are really a must for you. I would say the first one is to know exactly what kind of services you need. If you're just needing a temporary storage for your goods, then you know what kind of 3PL you should go for. But if you need way more, you're going to have to put labels on your product. You might have to do some little order fulfillment on the side. You might have to do some bundlings and kitting. You might have to, do some repair of your product. There's so many things you might want to do. Then you go for hybrid, because other kind of warehouses will not fit into your need. And the second thing on my list is the owner of the warehouse or the operator of the warehouse or 3PL should have some sizable Amazon experience, because I found out a lot that most Amazon sellers don't even know how to create shipments in the seller center. They create shipments, they send us the wrong labels. As a 3PL owner, how in the world would I know if I don't have Amazon experience? How would I know that your labels were wrong? I'll just slap it in. If you're dealing with a storage warehouse, they don't care. They just slap it in and just send it in, and then Amazon flags you. You're in trouble. And then most of the VAs that Amazon sellers get, even the VAs, they lie through the interview process, so they don't know much about creating shipments on Seller Central. We deal with this all day long.
So Afolabi, what kind of mistakes can be made when you're shipping in product to Amazon, like just the shipping labels? Why can't somebody just click the label and it's done, send it over to you?
Oh dear, there's a lot of mistakes, and it's very costly. That's the bad part of it. It's very costly. If you're sending 7 boxes, or let's say you're sending 70 boxes, and while you were creating your shipment, you put in 70 pieces in a box instead of saying there is 1 piece in a box and you're sending 70 boxes. Trouble, because by the time you output that shipping, it's going to give you 1 label. How am I going to put 1 label on 70 boxes? And Amazon receives it. And when Amazon receives your goods, let's say I don't have any Amazon experience, and I slap on your label, I make 70 copies, I slap it on all your product, and I ship it to Amazon like that. And somebody gets an order, you have an order, Amazon will ship the whole 70 to that same customer instead of 1, because your label says, there's 70 in 1 box, and the person, you sell it in a batch of 70. So when an order comes in, they'll think it's a 70-piece order, and they just ship your whole inventory out to a customer.
Yeah. I've also seen, like, for soap, for example, there'll be mixed boxes, and I try to keep, if it's going to be Dead Sea Mud, separate from lavender, but I've seen where people have mixed it up, and they send it over, and it's just the wrong soap or the wrong amount, and it just causes a bunch of grief when that happens, when it is being received.
Yeah, because Amazon is going to commingle your products, and then they're going to ask you to, they'll charge you to sort it out, and they're going to ask you to grab it, ship it back to yourself, fix your problem, and send it back to them. Those are, you're losing sales, you're losing ranking, you're losing everything while you're trying to fix that problem.
Right. And by the way, just so everybody knows, even though we're not live as a pre-record, we are having a hashtag Wheel of Kelsey today. And a little bit later on, we will have the magic hashtag word. Kelsey, I'll prepare it. And we're going to have a regular Wheel of Kelsey, just like normal. So stay tuned. We'll announce what we're giving away, but it will be a little bit later on in the podcast. All right, Afolabi. So now what's the next one?
The next one is your 3PL should be able to do multiple channel. If you want to sell on Walmart, you're selling on Shopify, you're selling on eBay. If you plan to do, even if you're not selling yet, but you plan to diversify and just have multiple channels, your 3PL should be able to plug into all these channels and pull your orders and fulfill your orders on a daily basis. Order fulfillment warehouse can do that, but storage warehouse cannot do that. So that's why you need the hybrid, because the hybrid will take care of your Amazon needs and will also take care of your multi-channel needs. So that's the third one on my list. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'm waiting for all 20.
All right. Let's keep going. Let's move it.
Now hold it. But before we go, you're going to provide a list for everybody on the podcast, right?
Yes. We'll make
I'll back
the list
into
available.
a corner.
I'll push it onto Kelsey. So Kelsey, we're going to give everybody my list. so that they can have it in front of them while they're interviewing all their 3PLs, so they can know which ones are perfect for them. Okay. The
Maybe
next one
some
is,
people are going to be interviewing you. Keep that in mind.
somebody did that before. And after our meeting, it's like, Afolabi, you just checked every single box that you always talked about. I'm like, yeah, are you having my note in front of you? It's like, yep, I actually have your note in front of me. I'm like, wow. Yeah, darling soul, she's from Australia and she's quizzing me on all my words and everything.
Oh my gosh.
But that's so nice. That's cool. Yeah, I'm ready. The next one is your dashboard or technology. Your 3PL should be able to use technology. They should have like a warehouse management system that you can view all your inventory live. If you want to know how much pieces you have for each SKU, you should be able to just log in. You don't have to download any report all the time. You should just log in and see where all these products are. So a good 3PL will spend good money on technology and dashboard. It's very expensive, honestly. So very few 3PLs can afford to have all those software because they're crazy expensive. The next one is, how fast do they ship out your products? If you say you want to ship out 500 units of your product to Amazon tomorrow, can they actually get it done? Before, someone asked me about, sometime a year ago or something. It's like, so how many days or how many weeks does it take you to ship out my goods to Amazon? I'm like, what do you mean how many weeks? We ship it out within 24 hours. It's like, it's impossible. Like, what do you mean it's impossible? It's like, oh, my 3PL, they take 2 weeks. It says I have to take my container to them, drop it off, and come back 2 weeks time to pick it up. And that's when they'll have time to bring it in. I'm like, if that's your 3PL, run fast, because your product will be, for them to take your container and drop it off and then come back to get it, they're going to charge you twice. Your trucker is going to charge you twice. They're going to charge you to and fro, and they're going to charge you every single day that container is sitting on your 3PL's yard, right? And now, if you want to send your products out, you're already losing sales on Amazon. You're losing ranking on Amazon. Your container is sitting at the yard. Nobody can offload it because they're short-staffed or they don't have the necessary workflow to be able to bring your container and offload your products and quickly ship it out. So usually 48 hours is fine. 28 to 48 hours, even 72 hours is okay. If your 3PL can ship out all your goods, whatever goods you want them to ship out to Amazon for you, within 72 hours, they should be able to do it. So that's a big one to take note. Also, shipment creation. Like I said, many Amazon sellers or their VAs, they don't even know how to create shipments, and that's okay if you don't know how to create shipments. That's the more reason you need a 3PL that can help you out. Many times I find myself just doing a Zoom call and just I tell the customer to share their screen and I'll guide them through the process of creating their shipment. We find the best way to create. Maybe it's by SPD or by pallet. Or if I see that the pallet is costing too much, I can say, hey, why don't you go get an Amazon Freight account? They're like, what is that? Well, Amazon Freight account you can find it in freight.amazon.com. Anytime you're shipping more than 10 pallets, I'll advise you to go on a freight plan. What that means is that Amazon will send a full truck, empty truck, to your 3PL to grab all your pallets. Whether you're shipping 26 pallets or you're shipping just 10 pallets, it's the same price, like between $500 and $750. So can you imagine you're shipping 26 pallets and Amazon only charges you $750? That's a good deal. That's a good deal. So your 3PL operator should be able to help you or have people on staff to help you in shipment creation, just in case you made some mistakes. When you're creating your shipment, they'll be able to guide you. They'll be able to fix it for you before they ship it out. The next thing would be spotting errors, like error spotting. So when you send, everybody is prone to mistakes. Nobody's perfect. When you send your labels to your 3PL, they should be able to know that you've made a mistake. They should look at your label and like, something is wrong with this label. They should be able to read it and say, okay, there's 50 in the box. This label says 42, or this label says 75. Something is wrong. And then they should be able to call you or send you a quick email and say, hey, wait a minute. We think there's some discrepancy in your labels. If we send it, you might have a problem with Amazon. Could you, fix this and get back to us? Another thing is that is tied to error spotting is more of repackaging. So when you send your goods to a 3PL, they should be able to look at the conditions your goods arrive. Do you have a torn box? Do you have boxes with holes in them? Do you have a wet box? Do you have a stinking box? Do you have a box that has mold in it? They should be able to pick that up, because by the time your goods get to your customer and they see mold in it, you're in trouble. It's a big trouble. Number one, you're endangering the health of your customers. And two, your product is going to get really, really bad reviews very fast. So your 3PL should be able to know that something stinks in these products. I can smell something. They should be able to help you open it, take a photo,
and that's happening,
email you a
right?
report. Oh,
Yep.
Several times we have mold issues. Like maybe one.
We're not going to say anything about it, but
no, yep, we won't say anything. We won't say what the product is. So we have people, because in the container you're sending containers. These containers are already, they have holes in them. So when they're coming from China or India or Indonesia, wherever it's coming from, water get into them and they get mold. By the time they get to your 3PL, they're already moldy or they're very wet. And if your 3PL doesn't care, they just say, who cares? Just stash it that there, just put it on the rack. Who cares about what? So anyway, you have to know that your 3PL can handle such a situation.
Can the 3PL also help? Like you were just talking about that container. So a lot of times a freight forwarder is the culprit, or could be the culprit, because you're using really cheap, crappy freight forwarders. Is that something that the logistics company would help out or yes, spot, just to let people know? And then the second question is, can you use the 3PL, like you were talking about? Is it almost an inspection, a secondary inspection agency when the products come in?
Yes. So you can have the 3PL actually do the inspection for you. They might not need to bring anybody to come into their facility. They can actually, they should be able to do inspection for you.
But that wouldn't be your primary inspection. Like that's, well, I would definitely 100% all the time do inspection in China
before it leaves.
Absolutely. And then once it comes in and it's received, as it's being received, if the problem, like you were talking about mold, that is something that happened a little while ago in one of the containers. It was caught and we were able to, stop it from going out. But anyways, I just wanted to check with you what your thoughts were on that.
Yes, it should, like you said, they should make sure they do inspection before they leave. But there's some things, inspection may not be able to catch mold, especially if the mold is through the container. So they come, it arrives at the 3PL. The 3PL should be able to spot that really fast. And you said on the show, I was listening to one of your shows.
Oh, you were?
Talked about, yeah, I do. I think you were having a show with Noviland, the guy from Noviland.
Yep.
And you guys were talking about, don't always go for the cheapest freight forwarder. And when I heard that, I'm like, finally someone said that. So people are shopping for rates and they're looking for who is the lowest cost. They don't realize that the lowest cost might be the crappiest one. Your goods arrive, they already dipped their hands into it. I've seen it before. They already stole part of the product. They will cut a hole into it, dip their hands into it, grab some few products in it. One, two, the pallets arrive. They're like leaning like a what's the tower in Italy? Is it a leaning tower?
Leaning tower. Yeah.
The pallets, the boxes arrive and they're leaning like this, and you have holes all over. The pallets are all broken. You have to pick. I mean, you try to pick them up, they just fall on the ground, and everything breaks into pieces. So you pay for what you get. Don't always look for the cheapest freight forwarder or cheapest shipping price. Look for the most effective, efficient shipping company or freight forwarder that would stand by everything they say they're going to do. If something goes wrong, they will be able to stand by it and help you do it. Okay, it's a major thing. We deal with it every time. I at the warehouse one day, one of my guys at the warehouse, I just saw his face. He was like so mad. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, did you see the pallet that just came in? I'm like, what's wrong with the pallets? Like, go take a look. And I saw it. It was the most battered pallet I've ever seen. It was in pieces by the time it arrived. I'm like, I pity the person that owns this thing, you know. But your 3PL should be able to help you gather it up, repackage it, get you a brand new box, put all the pieces that fell off or any box that is crushed. They should be able to help you repackage everything into a very good new box, label it, take a photo, send it to you, and you should be good to go. Very important. The next one on my list is communication. You send an email to your 3PL and 48 hours they've not replied. You know, even 24 hours, they should be able to reply you. So communication is very important, because when you don't send your goods to Amazon on time, you're losing sales, you're losing ranking. You need a 3PL that can react to you fast. And you can tell by when you're actually, before you actually do interview the 3PL, see how long it takes them to reply your emails, see how long it takes them to respond to you. That's going to be a quick assessment of what you're about to get into. Okay.
Well, just before we go to the next one, why don't we, we're getting into the podcast. It's getting a little late. I just want to make sure that, first of all, if you want to enter the Wheel of Kelsey, we are having it today. Hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. Kelsey, what is the mystery word today?
So I've been thinking about this all podcast, and I was running through what should today's mystery keyword be, and I've come up with it.
Life.
It's hashtag 3PL. So the mystery keyword, hashtag 3PL, put in the comment sections along with hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. That's how we know you've been listening to today's episode. And you'll be entered in today's giveaway.
That was
Perfect.
so easy. I thought he was going to say hashtag Kelsey's middle name or something. That's
or your
like
name.
A hard one. Yeah.
Hashtag Afolabi's last name.
My last name. Yeah.
There we go. No, we'll stay with CPL. Nobody will enter. So if you want to enter, okay, just hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and hashtag 3PL. If you want a second entry, then just tag 2 people and we'll get you a second entry going. Now, I haven't talked to Afolabi about this. We usually do the Tariff Buddy, or we do a free pallet, or we do a free month's strategy or inventory management. So the inventory management, how expensive is that? What do you normally charge for that?
It starts from $3.99, and it's to help you manage your Amazon inventory across multiple channels using StoreStock. We partner with StoreStock to be able to help Amazon sellers manage their inventory, because that's one of the most important part of it. People just run out of stock like crazy. To be able to stop that, we just took it upon ourselves to offer that service to Amazon sellers now.
Okay, so I can tell you, I know what Afolabi's been doing with this and with Chelsea over at StoreStock, and the people he's been helping out with this love it. So it's a $300, $400 a month service. Well worth it, but you get it for free if that's one of the things. In fact, Afolabi, are you okay with this? I never talked to you about this beforehand. We've never
Bring it
done
on.
this. Are we okay to do the trifecta? The person who wins
Ooh.
can do
Ooh.
one or all, depending on if they need it.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm putting you in
Let's
corner.
do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Bring it on. Let's do that.
Okay. So we're talking about a $700-800 giveaway today. So
That's
if
good.
you're interested, not only do you get that management, the inventory management for a month, the pallet, free storage for a month, and the tariff buddy. And a tariff buddy by itself could save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what it is. Hashtag Kelsey and hashtag 3PL. And now a word from our sponsor. A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together. All right.
That's so cool. Do you know we already covered 13 points?
Wow.
Yeah.
You got a lot more
13
talking
points
to
already.
do. Okay.
Yeah, we have like 5 or 6 to go. So, we're almost done, but we'll give them all this list after. The
Okay.
next one is rates versus efficiency. When you're talking to your 3PL, people come and say, well, how much do you charge to do this and do that? Well, I think we should put efficiency forward, way above rates, because if a 3PL doesn't have a good efficiency, you're pretty much done, because they are going to mess up your business. All the 10 cents or 15 cents you think you're going to save will be out the window real fast. You'll be losing thousands of dollars if your 3PL is not efficient. So what's a good rate for a 3PL? 3PL, they do many services, so it's so hard to tell. There's storage rate, which ranges from like 65 cents to 75 cents a cubic feet. Some people say, well, I don't like to pay cubic feet. I want to pay per pallet. Well, what the 3PL doesn't tell you is you think you're saving when you're doing it per pallet, but you're pretty much just, I think you're just flushing money down the toilet if you do per pallet, because 3-4 boxes may be sitting on that pallet and they charge you per pallet rate. Whereas if you do per cubic feet, you're actually paying for the exact storage. I see some people, they paid probably $20 a month because we charge them per cubic feet. I'm like, look, you only have 4 boxes with us, and that's how much it costs you to store them. So not a problem. So always put efficiency above rates. By the time you ask them all these other questions, you'll be able to tell how efficient they are. How do they ship out your goods? How many hours before they ship out the goods? How many hours before they unload a container? How many days before they log it into their system? When you send them a message, do they reply really well? Do they reply really fast? Those are the things that guarantee efficiency. I think the rate is very, very, most of the 3PLs are very close in rates, but they are very far apart in efficiency. The difference is day and night. So we go to the next one, which is liability insurance. Most storage warehouses don't have insurance. That means if you're storing $100,000 worth of good in that 3PL and they don't have insurance, you are in big trouble. Because if there's fire or flood or whatever, God forbid, and your goods get burned or good gets damaged, they're not going to refund you anything.
So
The money's
Afolabi,
lost. Yes, sir.
if you're talking to a 3PL, should you be asking to see their certificate?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, and
Verifiable certificate.
okay, and then what should sellers be looking for? How much coverage?
If it's a small 3PL, $1 million is ideal. But if it's a fairly large 3PL, you're looking at $5 million coverage. Yep.
Okay. And is there different types of insurance that you should be looking at outside of liability?
I think it's called an umbrella insurance, and
Right.
And it covers everything inside the warehouse in case of all the incidences that may happen. So you will
Right.
see it in the declaration of insurance. They will list all the things they cover. Some of them even have cyber attack. Let's say somebody hacked into their warehouse management system and they steal the SKU information or SKU data. Some of them even have that kind of insurance inside their liability insurance.
Okay. And what we're talking about is this is outside of what your Amazon insurance what Amazon is requesting. This is not part of it. So if you're a seller, you do that separately, but you definitely want to make sure that your 3PL does have insurance coverage.
Correct. The next one is location to an Amazon warehouse. What's their proximity to the closest Amazon warehouses? So the best way you can know that is just ask your 3PL to give you the address and put the address into the Seller Central and create a dummy shipment and see where Amazon is going to tell you to send the goods to. If your 3PL is in New York or is in Pennsylvania and Amazon is telling you to ship it to California, you're going to spend a lot of money on shipping. So please test it out first. Do a dummy shipment with your 3PL warehouse address. And if the places they ask you to ship to is very close by, let's say 2-hour drive or an hour drive or whatever, that's so good. That gives you a big edge over other 3PL. So please check to make sure that your 3PL is close to major Amazon warehouses.
Okay.
Another one, we're almost done, is returns processing. Can your 3PL handle returns? I got a return. I saw some returns coming into our warehouse and they are in perfect condition. They were like almost never opened. I'm like, and Amazon is putting an LPN label on it. Anytime Amazon puts an LPN label on your product, that means you cannot resell it. They don't want you to resell it. So they return it to your designated 3PL or designated address. But these products are in good condition. So if your 3PL is willing to accept returns, send your returns to them. They will take your product, examine it, make sure it's in good working condition, repackage it, and send it back to Amazon. Now, the trick there is if Amazon's customers, they open the product and they closed it and Amazon thinks it's unsellable, Amazon is going to pay you the full price of that product and still return it to your 3PL. You can repackage the same product if it is in the same good condition, unused condition, and send it back to Amazon. So you're making money twice on the same product. But your 3PL should be able to accept returns so that they can help you out with stuff like that.
What about lost product? You send product over and Amazon can't find it. Is it your responsibility or is it the seller?
Oh, that's a good one. So for lost product, all your 3PLs should be able to keep a record of every receipt, every pickup receipt that Amazon picks up from their location. So the bill of lading, there's always a stamp that the trucker will put on your bill of lading after they pick it up from your facility. Your 3PL should be able to scan that and attach it into your dashboard so that in case the trucker loses your product, you can pull out the record and say, look, this is a proof that this product was picked up from my 3PL. Guess what? Amazon does not argue with that. They will pay you full price for your product if you can show them that receipt. Very, very good question. So that's a very good one. In case your trucker loses your goods, make sure you use a 3PL that keeps record of every pickup receipt that gets picked up from their facility, upload it to your dashboard. You can keep it for future reference, and you will have a good night's sleep every time if something goes wrong. Now, the last one on my list is Profits Finder. Does your 3PL help you to find profit in your entire supply chain? Profit Finder. How does it work? If I see a customer send us a label and the box is shipping a box that weighs 40 pounds, is shipping it by UPS and is shipping 50 of those. How in the world would you choose UPS to ship 50 boxes and each one is weighing 40 pounds? You're going to pay a fortune. So we see all these things and we're like, reach back to the customer and tell them to wait, to hold on a little bit. You should not be paying this much on your shipment. Why don't you ship it by pallet? Because if you ship it by pallet, it's probably $150. But if you ship it by UPS, it's probably $800. So your 3PL should be able to help you pick up on those kind of stuff and say, look, you're wasting money. You shouldn't be shipping these by UPS. You should do it this way or you should do it that way. Another way we save, your 3PL can save you money is to look at your entire supply chain. Why are you sending your goods to California when most of your customers are on the East Coast? Why are you using a 3PL in California? Or why are you using a 3PL on the East Coast when most of your customers are in the Middle Belt or they are in the West, right? So your 3PL, it will be very nice if you can have a really good sit down with the 3PL operator to help you plan better how you can do this. I was talking to a new customer recently, and we saw how he was shipping his goods. So he would ship his goods to California, and then he would truck the goods to Tennessee from California, and that's where his 3PL is. I'm like, why are you doing that? They're charging him probably $12 to $13,000 to truck it from California to Tennessee. I'm like, look, you should have shipped it to New York and then find a 3PL in that area. You're going to pick up on easily $15,000 in savings by doing that. So your 3PL should be able to help you sit down, look at all the points your goods are stopping at, and help you plan accordingly. And then you'll be able to save money from day one. The goal of your 3PL is to save you money, not to empty your pocket. And with that, we're officially done.
There we go. All 20 done. And like you said, you're going to be providing the list for the group. We'll be posting it in the Lunch with Norm Facebook group. So Afolabi, thank you for doing that for us. That's fantastic.
You're welcome, sir. Thanks for having me here. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun to be here.
Well, it's great having you. So once again, thank you. And I don't know when this is going to air, but it'll probably be when I'm in Australia. So we'll be talking to you soon. Afolabi,
Enjoy
you're
your trip.
awesome. I will try. I know I will.
Enjoy your trip. Enjoy the flight. 20-something
Oh,
hour flight.
don't even
Say
say
hi.
that.
Say hi to all our people down under in Australia. If you see them, tell them we love them.
All right, I definitely will. All right, my friend. We will talk to you soon. See you
All
later,
right, sir.
Afolabi.
Bye.
All right. So yeah, once again, that was fantastic. The list, those 20 items, definitely will help you out. Just have it in front of you, go through the list, and not every 3PL is going to answer every question, but maybe they'll answer 17 out of them. Anyways, it's just a checklist. So once again, I thank Afolabi for putting it together. Kelsey, where are you?
Hello, hello. All right. So I know people are excited about this giveaway, so we're going to jump into it with a fancy edit, and I'm going to do it live right now. And with that being done, hello, everyone. It's me, Kelsey. I'm here live. Let me just move over my screen so I can see your beautiful people. It's good to see everyone. We do have a live episode happening with Norm Wednesday. So Norm is just coming back from Australia today. So he will be here with another live episode starting on Wednesday. So we're back to normal, back to schedule, and you'll be able to ask your questions and get your answers too. So yeah, he's going to be sharing the full list and we'll be posting it in the Facebook group. So watch out for that. There's still time if there's any late entries for the hashtag Wheel of Kelsey today. And I also want to share with you guys, I don't know if any of you saw this, but Kevin King is giving away a free ticket to $1 Billion Seller Summit. So if you're able to go to Austin, Texas, and buy your plane ticket and hotel from the August 14th to 18th, you'll get a free ticket to the $1 Billion Seller Summit. That's $6,500, I believe the ticket is going for. You can either go to the description here. If you've been watching through the whole episode, you might just need to refresh it to find the link, but it's right at the top in the description. So whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, you'll be able to find this link. So it's just a Google form, fill it out, and you'll be able to enter. And yeah, I think it's a great giveaway. I don't think this has ever happened. Yeah, check it out. Check out the $1 Billion Seller Summit, and who knows, maybe you'll be the winner and end up in Austin, Texas in 2 weeks from now. And hello, Christine. Hello, everyone. I see SEO Video Show. I believe that's Paul. Norm's going to be on that podcast soon. Good to see you. Hey, Abdul, Steven. We've got Jeff, Rich, Toyota, Chuck, Anna. Thank you all for watching. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, let's just go over to a sponsor quickly. Of course, I think it's fitting for HONU. Norm is associated with HONU Worldwide, so they are business partners, just to be completely transparent. And they also sponsor this show, so let me just throw it over to them.
If you're selling on Amazon in 2022, you know how important it is to stand out from your competition. Let HONU Worldwide lend a helping hand with your product innovation to outcompete your competition online. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the success of your newly innovative product while HONU handles all the work. Visit HONUWorldwide.com for more information. That's HONU, HONU, worldwide.com, or email savings@HONUWorldwide.com.
Okay, it's time for the Wheel of Kelsey. Enjoy, everyone.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
Okay, so it's time for the Wheel of Kelsey. Found the slide. All right, so again, thank you everyone who entered, and we'll shuffle these names up and give it a spin. We do this every single podcast too, and if you are the winner, please email me k@lunchwithnorm.com, and it looks like it is Chuck. Chuck is the winner. So we're doing something a little different with this giveaway than usual HONU giveaways. You'll be able to get all three of the ones listed below. So whether that's the Tariff Terminator, the Freeze Palette, or the inventory management, you can have access to all three of those. So I think it's about $800 in value. If you don't need if you don't need one or two of them, that's totally fine too. But you do have access to all three for this winner. So congratulations, Chuck. And thanks again for watching. I believe there's just a few more minutes left in the episode. Don't forget to sign up for the $1 Billion Seller Summit. That's $6,500 in value that you could potentially win. You're going to be meeting a whole bunch of cool, interesting people. And yeah, it's going to be a great opportunity. So good luck to everyone out there. And we'll get back to the rest of the episode. It's all done. And congratulations to the winner of the giveaway. So woo. All right. So again, thank you everyone for watching our pre-recorded episode. If you haven't already, make sure you join the Lunch with Norm Facebook group. That's the banner going down below. That's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. And if you want to do something extra special for us, if you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast, it does do a lot for us in terms of ranking and all that good stuff. And if you're coming from YouTube, if you can subscribe to the channel below, smash that subscribe button, ring those bells, and you get all the notifications when we go live. All right, I think that's it. If anyone has questions about today's episode, any topics for the future, you can let us know, k@lunchwithnorm.com, and I'd be happy to connect with you. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Rich, who sent me a very special book just the other day too, out of nowhere. So thank you, Rich. It was a little motivational book. So I have it right next to my nightstand, and I've been reading it. So thank you again. I love the Beard Nation and the community we have together. It's amazing, and I'm so happy to meet the community and get to hang out with them at these events, like the Mexico trip. And yeah.
All right. Okay, like Kelsey said, I agree 100%. We have got an awesome community, and thank you for being part of this community. I don't know when this is going to air, but it'll probably be next week, and can't wait to get back on live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see you soon, and thanks for joining us.
Lunch with